Hey, friends! Yeah, how about that soaring guitar solo by Mr. Andy Thomas? I've got a pretty cool show tonight. I wrote a new song last week, so a song that is only a few days old will be getting premiered tonight. So I'm pretty excited about that. I understand we have Misha von Volgamut out there and Carlos. So shout it out in the comments if you are here. Thank you for making the switch to Twitch with us. We hope that you will find, as we do, that the sound quality as well as the video quality is a little bit better than Facebook. Well, notably better than Facebook. So we've got a couple of new songs tonight. Some songs that I've wanted to play for a while and that are not new to the world, but they're new to my show. So hope you'll be hanging out for a while. I've got a lot planned. I don't know how much we'll be able to squeeze into the next hour. So without further ado, a song that I've been wanting to play on my own for a while, I Vislolop. Hai visto Lorena lo labor, hai visto Lorena danza, hai visto Lorena lo labor, hai visto Lorena danza, tutti trasfasiando con dei lauro, hai visto Lorena lo labor, tutti trasfasiando facendo tondo bozzongo ya tremato dalla nada per segagna qua questo tremato dalla nada per segagna qua questo Ren Faire una massata hai visto Lorena no si fotendo per più hai visto Lorena hai visto Lorena la leva hai visto Lorena danza hai visto Lorena no labor hai visto Lorena danza tutti trasfacciano con dei lavoro hai visto Lorena la tutti trasfacciano con dei lavoro facendo con dopo sono ya. And that was Dragon.
That's Carlos's zombie killing song.
That is a good zombie killing song, Carlos. I agree.
And he wants to let you know that Rebecca Sullivan is here.
Oh, hey, Rebecca Sullivan. Hey, Rebecca, I have good news. I am going to attempt to get to one of the songs that you requested probably about a month ago. So I have been working on these things. It's going to come a little later in the program. Maybe you don't even remember requesting it at this point, but I've got it for you.
I also have a friend that likes Wolgamut. Her name is Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay.
Pine Racer.
Oh, you're the Pine Racer. There we go. That's cool. So, for those of you who are maybe looking for me to say something about this, or even if you're not, today is Martin Luther King Day. And Martin Luther King is, I think, to say that he's a hero of mine is maybe a bit of an understatement. And you might recognize a passage from Amos that he famously quoted in his "I Have a Dream" speech about justice overflowing like an like a river or an ever-flowing stream, which I think, looking at what our country has been like for the last few years, is a message that clearly hasn't gone out of style. We are not living in a place that has liberty and justice for all yet. And whether you're a person of faith or not, I would encourage you to put all of your goodwill and prayers into making a better world. Not only that, but make sure that you're voting and all that great stuff. Like, we already passed an election, but let's try and keep our democracy intact. And not only that, let's make it work for really everybody, not just like a few people. And on a similar note, this is a song that I wrote a couple weeks ago. And, it's got a couple levels to it, but basically this song is dedicated to all the narcissists who would make our lives better by leaving, which seems to be pretty topical this week, no? Anyway, tell anyone you want. Facts just don't support any of your vicious claims. Stories you're a victim, circumstance unnamed, that your challenges imagined, excuse your lack of shame. Never been that hard for you. The world handed to you on a plate. You're just so selfish, irresponsible, and all you've ever done is take. Tragedy's the misery travels in your way. Anybody that's been touched by you is left to deal with all And that was Tell Anyone You Want. So, cheers to that. For those of you who don't know, this is a Goodly Woods mug. I highly recommend them. This particular one is Purple Heart. They are delightful mugs. This has become my favorite tea and or coffee mug. But it works for cold or hot drinks, so I commend you to Goodly Woods, who I found out about from the Gwendolyn. So you would expect that from a woman who encourages us all to take a drink of your drink, to also know where to go to a good purveyor of good drinking vessels. So I commend you to Goodly Woods. So it has been, it's been an interesting week in a lot of ways. One of the things that I finally did was I sat down and I finally wrote music to some lyrics that I've been working on for a couple of years now. And this is a little bit different in that it's about dementia. I don't know what some of y'all's history has been, but I've lost a couple people that I love to dementia, and it's very hard to see someone that you know losing a lot of the things that made them to you. And there's some really great neuroscience now that suggests that having meaningful connections with people and keeping yourself very occupied can actually help to strengthen and regenerate your brain, even as you get older, which I think for a while we didn't think that was as true. And I'm very encouraged by that. But at the same time, it's still pretty frightening to see people losing memory, not remembering who we are. Anyway, this is a new song that I wrote this week called Dementia. Trusting to the storehouse of the mind, my words coruscant, clarity of sparkling memories unbroken, curated by my will and curiosity, things read and shared and seen retrieved. Images that once seemed clear are blurring, perception clouded with uncertainty, more lost games as it all slips away, the picture distorted, so much seen but with unfocusing goes unheeded. Storehouse of the mind, overfull, thirsty, my words dimmed and blurred on the edge. Out of reach, out of touch, retrieve.
Lindsay shared that she had a grandmother die of Alzheimer's, and Carlos' mom also has dementia.
Yeah, well, love to you guys. It's the worst. It's the worst. You're not alone, and I hope that during those last few moments you got to be there. I do believe that there's something that gets through, but it's so it's hard, and prayers with you all. Love to you all. Well, thanks for tuning in. Maybe to lighten the mood a little bit, I've been working on this song a little bit. If you tuned in last month, Luke Lee and his sister Mary Kate were here in the studio, and we did a little live stream for the release party for Luke's new album, You Had Me at Cello, and that was really fun. And it kind of pushed me to learn a couple traditional Irish songs that I really love. And, well, anyway, without further ado, Wild Mountain Time. The summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming river. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon pure and crystal fountain, and around it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And if my love will leave me, I will surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Oh, the summertime is leaving, and the trees are sweetly turning, and the wild mountain thyme cast its seed by purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
Misha thinks he should have picked something cool for a screen name.
Well, what? Misha von Volgemoot's not cool? I mean, you've had that name for how long? What else would you pick? Bagpipe Gandalf? How about that? How about...
the house elves agree.
Yeah.
The house elf.
Anyway, so I actually have a couple kind of cool songs that have come to me by way of the Ren Faire tonight. And I have no idea how well they're all going to work. This one, the next song that I'm going to share with you, is one of my favorite songs that I've heard Owen Fife sing. And it is on his first record, which the name escapes me. But it's really stripped down, and it's just him and his batente. And it's an old poem by Abraham Cowley in a setting by William King, which, since I am not a classical guitarist, I won't be playing. My hope is that you will take the vocal melody, and this will, anyway, this will be, I hope, as beautiful as I received it from Owen. Go bid the needle his dear north forsake, to which with trembling reverence it doth bend. Go bid the stone a journey upward make, go bid the ambitious flame no more to ascend. And when false to their own notions prove, then I shall seize thee, and thee alone to love. You who men's fortunes in their faces read, to find out mine look not, alas, on me, but mark her face, and in her features heed, for only there is written my destiny. For if stars show it, gaze not on the skies, but study the astrology of her eyes. If thou find there kind and propitious rays, what Mars and Saturn threaten, I'll not fear. Perchance it be the fate of mortal days is written in heaven, but oh, my heaven is here. What can men learn from stars they scarce can see? Two great lights rule the world, and her to me. My Fate. That is a song that I would love to play sometime with an ensemble to fill it out a bit. So if you're watching this at some point, Mr. Luke, that is something that I would love to play with you and Mary Kate if you were here, or Misha and Johan, or even James if you're out there.
Misty Bernard. Maybe.
Misty Bernard, maybe.
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Misha's calling you the Lancaster Elrond.
I like that, but I think that's a bit grandiose. I'm neither old nor powerful enough for it, but we can work on it.
And that he loves this tune. And then also, Lindsay's been listening to a lot of Owen's take on A La Una.
Oh, yeah, A La Una. Yeah, that'll show up on the show at some point. Basically, any song that Owen Fife played is probably fair game at some point. Yeah, Owen was amazing. And the world is dimmed by his absence, but oh, how we benefited from the legacy that he left us by how he's influenced the music that we hear at fairs and the wonderful recordings that he left, either solo or with the New World Renaissance Band. Yeah, so to Owen Fife, friends.
Oh, and Carlos wants to know where he can get one of those mugs again.
Oh, Goodly Woods. The house elves will attempt to find a link for you. The cool thing about these mugs is they're all handmade, and every one of them is unique. So if you see something that you like and you're in the spot that you can do it, you might want to snatch it up immediately. This particular model is a Purple Heart. So
I'll type this in.
So, I've been working with making some arrangements of some of the songs that I wrote for electric guitar so that they have a little bit more dynamism and a little more interest when played on an acoustic. Because, let's face it, without like overdrive and a little bit of fuzz, some of the stuff just doesn't sound as exciting. So, another thing that I love to do, as well as writing songs, is to read. And one of my favorite series is Alchemy Wars. And it is a wonderful series of books. This book has inspired my song Leviathan, which I'm about to play. And if you listen to the lyrics, there are some mild spoilers, but since it happens over 2 chapters pretty early on in the first book, The Mechanical, I hope you will forgive me. And I hope if you know these wonderful books by Ian Tregillis, that this maybe adds a little bit to a wonderful book. Island in the sky, shackled destiny mine, compelled to glide, conveyance alive, no thoughts out of line, tethered though in flight, far from my own kind, sing consolation and hide. Did you change me? Did you change me? Did you change me? Did you change me? I can say no, 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 I can say earth, never feel the earth again. Nowhere safer than the skies we sail. No enemy can reach us beyond clouds veil. Did you change me? Did you change me? Did you change me? Did you change me? I can say no, 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 I can say. Cannonade sounds my doom. Conflagration fills my veins and brings dismay. Incinerate my body, mind, and soul. At last alive, but gone too soon, much too soon. I can say no, 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 I can You can tell a lot about a society by who can say no and when and how they're allowed to do it. And if you've been paying attention to current events, there is a notable difference in the way that we allow people to dissent in this country. And if you were paying attention to the Black Lives Matter protests over the summer, you saw peaceful protests with lots of militarized police and a lot of tear gas and a lot of bludgeoning and a lot of rough treatment. And last week we saw an angry white supremacist mob attack our Capitol. It's just unconscionable to me. And as I think about how we're honoring Martin Luther King today, I just think about so many of the things that he said and how vilified he was during his lifetime for speaking truth to power, but also how incredibly effective he was as a leader in getting people to stand up for something that meant something and working for an America to finally live up to its promise as a land of liberty. So, cheers to that.
Said his friend made a music video using that song and footage from the movie Tombstone.
Huh. Well, I guess that makes sense. Doc Holliday is a known card player. Although Faro is not an honest profession. Poker is an honest profession, Carlos.
And we might have lost Misha, but Lindsay was asking about if there are any songs Owen wrote himself. Or did he just rediscover the cantigas? But
yeah, that's a good question. I honestly don't know. I know Owen did come up with, he did unearth an awful lot and did bring a lot to light. And maybe there was stuff that was still around and still kind of, that was being performed. But I think some artists, the way that they present certain things and their versions of certain songs become like so much of a part of us that they kind of become, they take on their own life. And I think Owen did that so repeatedly that, I mean, it's just really remarkable and a real credit to his skill as a musician. So I will do some research and find that out. Misha, of course, would know better than I, as somebody who played with Owen pretty frequently while Owen was still alive.
Also, Rebecca says thank you, and she's very happy.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad that worked. That song might stay in the rotation. Obviously, like with many of these things, a lot of these songs would be so much better and will be better once I'm playing with people again. And I was hoping by now that I would have some like regular guests. And now the CDC's talking about like the new strain of COVID, the B117 version, is like even more infectious. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to continue to do my best as a solo performer for a little while. Friends, the hour of our parting is nigh. And I have one final song for you. I wrote the setting for it, but the lyrics are actually a prayer written by Howard Thurman. And if you don't know Howard Thurman, I commend you to do a little bit of research. He was one of Martin Luther King Jr.'s big influences. And this is probably one of his most famous prayers, kind of like Owen Fife is most known for like Health to the Company or Blackbird. This is kind of Howard's well-known prayer. And there are lots of other ones, but I think this one honors the day and honors our particular moment. So even if you are not a person with faith convictions, I encourage you to take the sentiment behind this and engage in a little spiritual alchemy in changing all that is a shadow inside of us into something of light. Amen. 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 Friends, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so glad that we have these moments together because it looks like we're going to be maybe sequestered the way that we've been for a little while yet. So I hope that we can continue to make a little music here in the Wandering Bard, our imaginary pub. Thanks again for that name, Carlos. Do make sure that you follow and get your notifications turned on Twitch so that you know when I go live. I'm working on something pretty cool that's going to show up on off times, and it'll be a little bit different from Monday night. I'm thinking about doing a little bit of like a quick talk show and just asking some questions of some friends. So it'll basically be like a quick Q&A. So I'll have a few questions prepared, and maybe we can have people showing up in the chat and asking some questions as well. So I think that'd be really fun, and I'm going to be posting some more stuff about that in the coming weeks. So until next time, friends, stay safe, stay healthy, love you all. See you next week at 8 p.m.